Understand English naturally. 30 minutes beginner listening story. A1 to A2. A quiet beginning. Small steps start big change. My name is Tom. I am 30 years old. I live in a small town near the sea. Every morning, I wake up early. The sky is soft and light. The air is cool and fresh. I open my window. I let the fresh air come inside. I take a deep breath. I like mornings. Mornings feel calm. Mornings feel new. I make a cup of tea. The tea is warm in my hands. I sit by the window. I watch the sun rise slowly. The light moves across the sky. The world feels quiet. In these moments, I feel peaceful. I feel present. I feel alive. But inside me, something feels heavy. Something feels unfinished. Something wants to change. For many years, my life was the same. I woke up. I went to work. I came home. I ate dinner. I slept. Then I did it all again, day after day, week after week. My life was not bad, but it was not exciting. It felt small. I felt like a small boat. The boat moved in circles. It never went to the open sea. I was safe, but I was not growing. One morning, I asked myself a question. Is this the life I want? The question stayed in my mind. It followed me all day. It did not leave. That evening, I sat by the window again. The sky was dark. Stars filled the night. I held my notebook. I opened a blank page. My hand felt slow. My heart felt quiet. I wrote one sentence. I want to grow. The words looked simple, but they felt strong. I thought about my life. I thought about my fears. I thought about my dreams. I was afraid of change. I was afraid of mistakes. I was afraid of failing. But I was also afraid of staying the same. That night, I made a promise. A small promise. A gentle promise. I wrote it down. I will try one new thing every week. I did not promise success. I did not promise perfection. I promised effort. I promised to try. When I finished writing, I smiled. My heart felt lighter. My breath felt easier. Change does not start loud. It starts quietly. It starts inside. The next morning, I woke up early again. The sky was pale blue. The streets were quiet. I stood by my door. I looked at my shoes. I usually take the bus to work. That is easy. That is fast. But today was different. Today was my first step. I decided to walk to work. It was not a big change. It was not a brave act, but it felt new. I stepped outside. The air touched my face. The morning felt fresh. I started walking. My steps felt slow. My mind felt awake. I noticed things around me, things I never saw before. There was a small bakery on the corner. Warm bread smell filled the air. A cat slept under a bench. It stretched in the sun. A father held his daughter's hand. They laughed together. These were small moments. Simple moments, beautiful moments. I was not rushing. I was not checking my phone. I was just walking. I felt present. I felt calm. As I walked, my legs felt tired. The road felt long. A thought came to my mind. I can stop. I can take the bus. But then I remembered my promise. I promised to try. So I kept walking. With each step, I felt stronger. The road felt shorter. The day felt brighter. A quiet voice inside me spoke. This is how change begins. One small step, then another. When I arrived at work, I felt different. My body was tired, but my mind felt clear. I felt proud. Not proud of distance, proud of effort. That day, I made another small choice, a choice that scared me. There was a woman at work named Anna. I often saw her at lunch. She always read books. I wanted to talk to her, but I never did. I felt shy. I told myself many stories. She is busy. She does not want to talk. These stories lived in my head. They felt real. That day, I decided to try. I walked over to her. My heart beat fast. My hands felt warm. I smiled. I said hello. I said her book looked interesting. She looked up. She smiled back. She told me about the book. It was about travel. It was about life. We started talking, slowly, naturally. My voice was soft at first. Then it felt steady. We talked about books. We talked about food. We talked about places we wanted to visit. I learned something important. She was kind. She was easy to talk to. Later that day, I thought about fear. Fear lives in the mind. It looks big. It feels heavy. But when you face it, it gets smaller. That evening, I walked home again. My legs felt tired. My heart felt light. At home, I opened my notebook. I wrote a new line. Today, I took 2 steps. They were small, but they moved me forward. I felt the air. I saw the world. I spoke without fear. I learned something simple. Change begins with small choices. I closed my notebook. I smiled. Growth does not shout. Growth whispers. It asks you to listen. That night I slept well. The sea was quiet outside. My mind was calm. I did not change my life in one day, but I changed my direction, and that was enough. Learning to listen. Wisdom comes quietly. The next days feel different. Not loud, not fast, just different. I walk to work every morning now. My body feels stronger. My mind feels clearer. I notice more things, small things, quiet things. The sound of my steps on the road, the wind moving the trees, the smell of coffee from a small cafe. I start to understand something new. Life is always speaking, but I was not listening before. One evening, after work, I walk by the sea. The sun is going down slowly. The sky turns orange and pink. The waves move gently. The air smells of salt. I feel calm. I feel open. I see an old man sitting on a wooden bench. He is alone. He looks peaceful. His hair is white. His face has deep lines, but his eyes are bright. I feel curious. I walk closer. I sit down next to him. He turns his head. He smiles. He says, "Hello." His voice is slow and soft. We start talking. Simple words. Easy words. His name is Samuel. He is 80 years old. He tells me he comes here every evening. He watches the sea. He thinks about life. He says the sea is his old friend. I ask him why. He looks at the water. He points to the waves. He says the waves are never the same. Sometimes they are calm, sometimes they are strong, but they always move. Life is like that, he says. Life changes, life moves, life teaches us. I listen carefully. I do not interrupt. I do not hurry. He says something I will not forget. Most people talk too much. They listen too little. But if you listen, life will guide you. I feel quiet inside. His words feel true. We sit together in silence. The waves speak. The wind speaks. I hear things differently now. When I walk home, I think about control. I always try to control my life, my plans, my future. I worry about mistakes. I worry about time. But maybe growth is not about control. Maybe growth is about trust. That night, I sit by my window. The stars are bright. I open my notebook. I write slowly. Today, I learned to listen. I close my eyes. I breathe slowly. From that day, I practice listening, not only with my ears, but with my heart. I listen to the rain on my window. I listen to children laughing outside. I listen to silence. Silence is not empty. Silence is full. I also listen to myself, my thoughts, my feelings, even the uncomfortable ones. I do not run from fear. I sit with it. Slowly, I understand myself better. Days pass, weeks pass. I feel a quiet change inside me. Not big, but real. One Friday at work, something happens. There is a small meeting. Usually, I stay quiet. I listen. But this time, I raise my hand. My heart beats fast. My hands feel cold. A voice inside says stop. Another voice says try. I remember my promise. I stand up. I speak. My voice is soft at first. Then it gets stronger. I share an idea. It is simple. It is honest. When I finish, the room is quiet. Then my manager smiles. He says it is a good idea. A warm feeling fills my chest. I sit down. I breathe. Later, I write in my notebook. Courage is not no fear. Courage is action with fear. Fear does not disappear, but it loses power. Not everything goes well. Some days are hard. 1 month later, I try something new. A painting class. I like art, but I never paint. I imagine success. I imagine talent. The reality is different. My first painting is messy. Colors mix badly. I feel disappointed. I want to quit. But I remember my promise. I promised to try. I paint again. And again. It is still not good, but I smile. I learned something important. Failure is not the end. Failure is a teacher. That night, I write. I failed today, and I am thankful. As weeks pass, I notice something else. I am too hard on myself. I want fast results. I want change now. One evening, I look in the mirror. I ask why I am not better. Then I remember Samuel. You do not shout at a flower. You give it time. I understand. Growth needs kindness. Growth needs patience. That night, I write a letter. To myself. I forgive myself. I thank myself. The next morning, I feel lighter. I walk slowly. I smile more. I write one line. Kindness to myself is strength. Growing together. Letting go to move forward. Growth is not only inside, it also lives between people. For a long time, I thought I must grow alone. I thought asking for help was weak. Now I know that is not true. One weekend, I decide to volunteer. There is a small community center near my home. People meet there. They help the town. They help each other. That day, we clean a park. We pick up trash. We plant flowers. The sun is warm. The work is hard. But people smile. People talk. There are children. There are parents. There are old people. I feel part of something, not alone. A woman talks to me. She moved here 5 years ago. She felt lonely for a long time. She says volunteering changed her life. She found friends. She found meaning. Her words stay with me. We all want connection. We all want to feel seen. At the end of the day, I am tired. My hands are dirty. My back hurts. But my heart feels full. That night, I write. Growth is not a solo journey. We grow together. Weeks pass. I keep volunteering. One day, I meet a young boy. His name is Leo. He is quiet. He stands at the back. He reminds me of myself. I sit next to him. We talk slowly. We talk about school. We talk about fear. He tells me he is afraid to speak. I understand. I tell him my story. I tell him about small steps. Week by week, he changes. He speaks more. He smiles more. One day, he leads a small project. I watch him. I feel proud. I learn something new. When we grow, others grow too. Our courage can help others. Our kindness can open doors. That night, I write, growth grows when shared. Sometimes growth is not about adding. Sometimes it is about letting go. One evening, I open an old box. Inside, there is an old notebook. It is from 5 years ago. Inside are plans, goals, dreams. Dreams I never finished. I feel sad. I feel like I failed. Then I stop. I breathe. I see the truth. It is okay to change. It is okay to outgrow dreams. I am not the same person. That night, I walk by the sea. The waves erase my footprints. I understand. Letting go makes space. I throw away the old notebook, not with anger, with peace. I write new words. I am ready for a new story. Months pass. Seasons change. One Sunday, I choose silence. No phone, no plans. At first, it feels strange. My mind is noisy. Slowly, the noise fades. I sit by the window. I watch the clouds. I listen to my breath. In silence, I hear answers. I write, silence is full of wisdom. From then on, I add quiet moments, short walks, still mornings. Growth is often invisible, like roots under the ground. I learned this when I start running. At first, I run 5 minutes. It feels hard. I want fast change. My body says, wait. I keep going, slowly. 5 becomes 10. 10 becomes 20. Months later, I run 1 hour. I stop by the sea. I smile. It was not magic. It was patience. That night, I write, small steps build big change. I look around my life. It is not perfect, but it is full. I feel thankful. I start a new habit, gratitude. Every night, I write 3 things: the sun, a kind word, a good meal. Slowly, gratitude grows, and so do I. Quiet growth, a journey that continues. As time passes, I feel calmer. Not perfect, just calmer. My life still has problems, questions without answers, but I am different. I trust myself more. I trust life more. One evening, I sit in my room. I look around slowly. I see my notebook. Many pages, many words. Each page is a step. Each word is a moment. I read my first promise. Try one new thing every week. I smile. I did not change fast, but I changed deeply. One night, Samuel invites me to his home. We drink tea by the fire. His room is small, full of books, full of photos. He tells me stories about love, about loss, about life. Some stories are happy, some are sad. All are true. He says stories help us understand life. They show us where we came from. They guide us forward. On my way home, I think, my journey is a story too. Not a story of success, a story of growth. Every chapter matters. Seasons change. Spring becomes summer. Summer becomes autumn. Leaves turn gold. The air feels cooler. I walk through the park. Trees let go of their leaves. It looks like an ending, but it is not. It is preparation. I understand now. Letting go is part of growth. I stop by the sea. The waves move slowly. I feel grateful. I write one sentence. Change is a sign of life. As you listen to this story, remember something important. Growth is not about perfection. It is about direction. Some days are strong, some days are lost. Both are normal. Do not rush. Do not compare. Trust your pace. Celebrate small wins. Learn from mistakes. Keep walking. Even slow steps move you forward. This journey does not end here. It continues with you. Thank you for listening. Keep learning. Keep practicing. Keep believing in yourself.
If this video inspired you or helped you learn something new, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Motivation to Study English for 30 minutes every day. Your support is the energy that keeps us creating better and more meaningful videos every single day.